GT Online is a huge game. Over the years, it's just become larger and larger and larger with new updates and features added consistently. Sometimes it isn't easy to catch up on all this new content, especially the little things. Therefore, in today's video, I will go through my top 50 tips for beginners in GT Online. Now, getting right into the video, at tip number 1 is complete the tutorial. This will firstly give you a basic knowledge of the game, and it will also get you some RP, aka XP points, and some money to start off your journey in GT Online. Tip number 2, contact missions are really good to do early on. When you don't have any businesses or no heists or whatever, contact missions is your way to go to get some money up that you can then use to buy an apartment or something you would like to buy. These are really easy to do, even solo, and it will get you somewhere from $10,000 to $20,000 depending on how long you are inside that contact mission. If you're in the contact mission for a longer period, then you will get more money. I know it's very weird how it works, but the longer you're in a contact mission, the more money you will get from that exact mission. Tip number 3, save your money and don't waste it on cars and stupid stuff. Early on in your GT Online career, it's very important to not waste your money and rather save it so you can buy some businesses or properties that can then make you more money, and when you have a steady source of income, you can then start buying supercars and stuff you'd like to buy. But I promise you, it's better to save your money early on and buy the boring stuff so you can get more money and then buy the fun stuff. Tip number 4, try and get an armored vehicle early on. A very good armored vehicle that most new players actually buy is the armored Kuruma. If you do the Fleece a Job heist, this will cost $525,000, which is a very cheap price for how good this vehicle is. It will help you get around the map, it will help you do missions, and most importantly, it will help you make more money. So the armored Kuruma is definitely recommended, and you should try and get it as fast as possible in the beginning of the game. Tip number 5 is utilize the VIP missions. Now, VIP missions are kind of similar to the contact missions, only you don't get put into a separate lobby, you stay in the lobby you are and you do the missions in there. You can access these VIP missions by going into your interaction menu and then either signing up as a VIP, or if you have an office, but most likely you don't because you're a new player, then it's a CEO, but it should say VIP for you. You register as a VIP, and in there you can then access these VIP missions. The 2 missions that are the best is Headhunter and Sightseer. Do these back to back to earn a bunch of money pretty quick, and this is where the armored Kuruma comes in handy, because in Headhunter you need to kill some targets, and therefore the armored Kuruma helps you a lot in that mission. Tip number 6, utilize invite only sessions as much as possible. We all know how annoying it is to get griefed or just interrupted when you're trying to do a mission or earn some money. Therefore, invite-only sessions are a very good feature. In these sessions, no one can join you and you are completely alone in it. In the past, there was a lot of stuff you couldn't do in invite-only sessions because of limitations, but now Rockstar has changed this, and you can now do whatever you'd like in invite-only sessions. You can do heists, you can do businesses, you can sell businesses, you can do whatever mission you like. So make sure to utilize the invite-only sessions and earn money in there instead of public lobbies, because it's just much easier. Tip number 7, when you're shooting your weapon, especially a heavy weapon, use first person, because first, you will get a lot better accuracy when you're in first person and you're shooting, and second, you will get basically no recoil on your weapon. So you basically have laser aim if you are in first person when you're shooting your weapon. Tip number 8, make sure to aim for the head every time. There's no other places on the NPC's body that is better to shoot at than the head. Most kills will be one-shot kills if you aim for the head, especially when in the beginning when you have only a pistol. Aiming for the head can get you easily a lot of kills quickly if you hit those headshots. Tip number 9, make sure to stack up on snacks and armor. Snacks will recover health for you if you lose HP, and armor will make you more resistant to damage. You can get snacks and armor at your local grocery store or at ammunition, or if you have a property, there are many places where you can get snacks for free inside of those properties. Tip number 10, use cover, and tip number 11, learn to roll. These basically go a bit hand in hand. You should learn to use cover when shooting so you don't get shot yourself and you take minimal damage, and you should also learn to roll. This is most important in PvP. If you roll your character while or combat roll your character while you're shooting, you can make their crosshair go all over the place and not hit you, and you can then survive and probably kill them. So make sure that you practice using cover and you learn to roll or combat roll. Tip number 12, as soon as you can, try and invest invest in some counter griefer vehicles. These vehicles are vehicles like the Toreador, Jets, the Ruiner 2000. These have really good missiles, so they can easily take out Oppressor Mark IIs that will try to grief you. This is not as important in the beginning stages of the game, especially if you play in invite-only sessions, but it is nice if you're trying to sell in a public lobby with a friend or something, and then one of you has like a Toreador, for example, to counter these Oppressor Mark II griefers. Tip number 13. Use the interaction menu instead of the mechanic. Calling up the mechanic on your phone will use a lot more time to spawn your vehicle instead of just going into your interaction menu to vehicles and then request personal vehicle. This is much faster and will get you your latest used vehicle, so if you use the Oppressor Mark II last, then that will spawn right beside you. Tip number 14. Sell your goods/business product in public sessions. Now you might think I'm crazy for this after I've said all this about griefers and such, but this is because you will get a high demand bonus which increases how much you earn for these sales, and you can get up to 50% more if you sell in a public lobby with at least 25 other players. So make sure to utilize this and get that cash. Tip number 15. Make sure to upgrade your businesses. Upgrades such as equipment upgrade and staff upgrades are available for a bunch of businesses, and these basically just up your profits very much. For example, in the bunker and the MC businesses, you need to have these upgrades to actually earn good money from it. The nightclub as well. So make sure you invest in these upgrades early on when you buy new businesses. Tip number 16. Take advantage of double money events. Every week, every Thursday, there will be a new double money event week. Some weeks are better than others, but there will always be something that is double money. Make sure you keep track of this, and if there's something good this week, then maybe do it and get some extra money, because some of the double money events can be really good. Tip number 17. Make sure to do all the treasure hunts. These include the stone hatchet, double action revolver, and the navy revolver. These will get you a bunch of cash, a bunch of RP, and they don't take very long to do, and you can just look up a guide on YouTube or on the internet on how to do these treasure hunts. It's pretty easy. Tip number 18. Make sure to do daily objectives. Daily objectives is really good because from these you will get RP, and every week there are some daily objectives that if you do them that week, you will get $100,000 at the end of that week just because you did your daily objectives. So make sure to keep track of these and try and do them as often as possible. Tip number 19. If you do own a CEO office, then the luxury helicopter is a great addition to utilize. You can call in the luxury helicopter either by calling your assistant or in the interaction menu, and by this you can legit fast travel to your office. So let's say you're up in Palito Bay and you're stuck up there, you want to get down to the city, call your luxury helicopter and it will take you right down to your office in a few seconds. Tip number 20. Use Merryweather to get an easy helicopter really fast. If you call Merryweather, you can spawn a helicopter for $1,000, which then lands with you. You can just shoot the driver and there you go, you have a easy helicopter delivered right to you, so you can go wherever you'd like to go. Tip number 21. Aim down sight with any weapon to make it easier walking steep hills without falling down. You might have experienced falling down some hills that you've tried climbing up or walking up. If you pull out any weapon, it can be a pistol, and then you aim down sight, you can much easier walk up these steep hills without falling down. Don't ask me how it works, it just works. Tip number 22. Make sure to spin the casino lucky wheel every day. From the casino lucky wheel, you can get free cars, you can get RP, you can get money and much more stuff. So make sure to just spin this wheel every 24 hours, so maybe you can get a new car. Tip number 23. You can use the assistant in your office to recover your impound vehicle. If your vehicle gets impounded by the police, you don't have to go all the way down there and then buy it back or steal it back. You can simply just call your assistant and get her or him to recover the impound vehicle for you. It does cost $1,000, but it will spawn instantly right beside you and you're ready to go. Tip number 24. Make sure to do the daily stash house every day. The stash houses gives you supplies for your businesses. So if you, for example, have the bunker and you rob this stash house, then you will get free supplies for your bunker, which is worth a lot considering one full batch of supplies in the bunker is 75 grand. If you don't have any businesses, you will still get a decent amount of cash just by robbing these stash houses. Tip number 25. To save your game quickly without losing any progress if you are logging off or whatever, go into your interaction menu, go into appearance, and then change your outfit and then change it back. By doing this, you will force the game to quickly save because you changed your outfit, and then everything you did past, if you sold something or whatever, that will be saved. Tip number 26. Use a gun locker to remove weapons that you don't want. If you have a bunch of weapons and a bunch you don't use, then a gun locker is really nice, considering in this gun locker you can remove the weapons you don't want to use and then only have the ones you want to use. Tip number 27. On the Oppressor Mark II, you can get a speed boost very easily. If you just hold the handbrake while you're using the Oppressor Mark II up in the air, you will get a 20 miles per hour speed boost, which does speed you up quite a bit. So make sure if you have the Oppressor Mark II, hold your handbrake button on your controller or PC, and then it will get a decent speed boost. Tip number 28. You can easily spawn the CEO Buzzard or the Sparrow if you own any of them by the interaction menu. The CEO Buzzard you spawn easily by going into your interaction menu, clicking on CEO or VIP if you're in VIP, and then selecting vehicles and then spawning the Buzzard in there. The helicopter will spawn right beside you and you can take off. The exact same thing goes for the Sparrow. It's in the interaction menu, services, Kosatka, and then spawn Sparrow right beside you. Tip number 29. If you're ever selling something and you lose some cargo, someone grieves you, whatever, you can reset the mission and get everything back. You do this by either closing your game or going into story mode or changing session, and then when you go into GT Online again, you will have most of your product back. You will lose a little bit, but it's better than losing everything if you got grief, for example. Tip number 30. Make sure if you have an asset lab to change the name of the asset. This is really straightforward. If you do this, you will get a 5% bonus money, or you will get 5% bonus value of what your asset is worth. So you will basically just get more money just by changing the name of your asset. Tip number 31. If you have a lot of phone contacts that are useless, because there is a lot of phone contacts in GT Online that you can't even call, they don't answer, you can actually remove them. Go into your interaction menu, then down to preferences, and then in there you can then remove the phone contacts you don't want. Tip number 32. Make sure to utilize the street dealers. The street dealers are really nice if you have some MC businesses, because the MC businesses are absolutely ass to sell, to say it straight out. So you can use the street dealers to sell your coke or sell your blue lab stuff and your green stuff, and you will still get a decent amount of money from doing this. Tip number 33. Make sure to buy your ammunition through your interaction menu and don't bother going to any ammunition. You can very easily just go into your interaction menu, go into ammo, and then buy all ammo in there. You will get ammo for all your guns right on the spot, don't need no ammunition. Tip number 34. If you enter a riot van or an ambulance, you will get either some armor or some health. If you enter an ambulance, you will get health. If you enter a riot van, you will get some armor. Tip number 35. If you want to get into a car really quickly by stealing it, shoot the driver window of the car, because this makes it a lot quicker to steal than if your character were to go through the whole animation of breaking the window and then going into the car. Tip number 36. To easily take down helicopters, for example enemies or police, just shoot the helicopter rotor at the back of the helicopter for a bit, and then it will go straight down into the ground and you will not have to worry about it no more. This is arguably easier than shooting the pilot of the helicopter. Tip number 37. Join my Discord server for finding players to play with, for example doing heists or selling businesses. I will link it down below. Tip number 38. All planes in the game go faster if you're above 900 feet. So if you're going from one side of the map to the other, make sure you get a lot of altitude so you can go a bit faster when you're over 900 feet. Tip number 39. To resupply the asset lab really quickly, just spawn the asset lab through your interaction menu, sign up as a CEO or MC president, and then call Mutt, and you can then buy supplies on the spot by just calling Mutt. Tip number 40. Make sure to do time trials every week. The normal time trial, which is available for everybody, gets you $100,000. The best vehicle in my opinion to do these time trials is the Hakucho Drag. If you are on next gen, which is PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, then you will also have access to the HSW time trial. This will get you $250,000, and again, the best vehicle here is the Hakucho Drag with the HSW upgrade. So make sure you do this every week, because you will get an easy $350,000 and it only takes you a few minutes. Tip number 41. If you have a lot of garages and you don't know where all your vehicles are, then you can make custom garage tags when you call your mechanic. To do this, just call your mechanic on your phone, then your list of garages will come up, and in the bottom right corner you will have a button called Add Garage Info. Click this, then write whatever you want, whatever that garage consists of, and there you go. You now have some more organization on your garages. Tip number 42. Avoid raids on your businesses by leaving your CEO or being a MC president. If you're not an CEO or VIP and you're not a MC president, then you cannot get raided for any of your businesses. If you are signed signed up as a CEO or MC president, you can get raided, and that's just very annoying. Tip number 43. Look away or look into the ground to spawn your personal vehicle a lot closer. This works in the way that GTA or Rockstar don't want you to see vehicles spawn in the world of GTA. So if you look into a wall or down into the ground, it will spawn much closer to you because you cannot see around you, and therefore you maximize the space that your vehicle can actually spawn in. Tip number 44. If you go into first person, you can move a lot quicker indoors and upstairs. Again, I have no clue why this is how it is, but just go in first person if you are inside properties or if you're walking up some long stairs. Tip number 45. If you ever need a helicopter, these locations on screen now is all the helicopter spawn locations in the game. Tip number 46. Do not always trust the waypoint. The GPS is really nice because it shows you the way you gotta go, but sometimes it can be wrong and get you to drive further than you actually need. In GTA, you can drive wherever you want, whenever you want, but the GPS does follow traffic rules, so sometimes it will get you to drive all around this and that when you can easily just drive down one road. Tip number 47. If you want to get some weapons early, you can do that through the gun van. The gun van is a relatively new feature to GTA Online, and with this gun van, you can get weapons that you have not really unlocked early. So for example, a minigun, if it's in the gun van, you actually need to be a level 100 or 120. I'm not completely sure actually, but it's a high level. But if you buy it through the gun van, then you will get it way before that. Tip number 48. Use sewers and underground places to easily lose the cops. The best way to lose the cops in GTA Online when you are inside a vehicle is either to just avoid them, or if you're not that good at that, you can just use the sewers and underground tunnels to lose them. The cops will not go underground, so if you go down there, you will 100% of the time lose the cops, even if you have 5 stars. Tip number 49. Do collectibles early on to level up fast and get some easy cash. There are a lot of collectibles in the game, and these can be the playing cards, the signal jammers, the action figures, and more. These will get you a lot of XP, so you will rank up very fast, and it will also get you quite a bit of cash, which can be beneficial for the future. And then tip number 50. Another way to fast travel in the game is the spawn location fast travel trick. By doing this, you go into the interaction menu, down to preferences, you change your spawn location. You can change this to whatever business you have. Then you go into a new lobby, and then you will spawn at that business or wherever this business is. So let's say you're at the top of the map in Palito Bay, out and about in the forest. Then if you want to get back to the city really quick, you can just set your spawn location to the office, for example, or an MC clubhouse, change lobby, and then you will be there in a few seconds. And the last tip I will give you today to become an even better player in GTA Online is to watch this video right here about the top 10 best solo money making methods in GTA Online. Subscribing and leaving a like would also help out greatly. God bless, and thank you for watching.